understand that the price has to go up at some point, and make that point today, make that point when you're watching this video to really focus on having your price just shoot up. Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Sabrina. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Heavy on the subscribe. We are literally on the road to 1,000 subscribers and I'm so excited. I finally understand what my purpose here is on YouTube, and this is a channel about all things girly and growth. So with that being said, today's video is going to be the first video in my Girl Talk series, and we're going to be talking about femininity and becoming that girl. You're already that girl, sis, but let's tap into it a little bit more and let's tap into your feminine energy. So let's go ahead and hop straight into the video. I have a few disclaimers that I think are really important for me to note. The first disclaimer is that in no way, shape, or form am I claiming to be the most feminine woman on this planet at all. I know that I am not, but I'm here literally as someone who is speaking from experience. There have been people who have asked me in my DMs about being feminine, the way that you carry yourself, and they wanted some tips and tricks on how to do that, so I'm happy to deliver. Also, my second disclaimer is that I really want you guys to understand that while I'm going to be sharing a lot of information with you guys, being original and true to who you are at your core is what makes you you, and that should not really be altered, but things can be improved. The third disclaimer that I want to say here is that this is not a femininity channel. I am not a femininity guru. That's going to be a really hard word to say this entire video. Femininity. But I'm not a femininity guru. I am just someone on here who, of course, is speaking as a woman, as a feminine woman, and being that girl, understanding what it means to me to be that girl, and I'm just sharing information with you guys. Utilize the world's second largest search engine, YouTube, to gather more information on femininity, as it has multiple layers to it. So let's go ahead and just jump straight into the video today. So, of course, femininity has a lot of different layers to it, and I'm going to be scratching the surface of a few things that I think are really important for us to understand, to master, and also helps us become that girl, whoever that girl is to you, which we'll talk about in just a second, girl, don't worry. The first thing is making sure that you are taking proper care of yourself. I really didn't want to jump into hygiene in this video because I feel like it's something that a lot of people really should understand by now. But I do understand that some people do need help with it. So when I talk about hygiene, I'm, obviously taking care of yourself in the way of bathing daily, making sure that you are brushing your teeth, you're combing your hair, you are, looking presentable. And when I say this, I don't want to sound vain. I want to just make sure that we are covering the basis of what hygiene requires you to do. But also, hygiene also falls into the category of having a self-care routine. So for me, femininity is, yes, it's about maybe physical appearance and things of that nature, but really at its core, I think what it is how you feel, tapping into your natural state as a woman. Every woman has feminine energy, and we just have to find different things that we like to do that makes us feel the most feminine and pull out that feminine energy so that we can show up as that. So that's why I'm saying having a really great self-care routine is something that I've done and I still do to really break into my feminine energy, to make me feel good, to make me really feel like the woman that I am in her highest form, of course. So femininity is literally a feeling, and when you tap into that feeling of channeling who you already are, the perfect way to do that is to be taking care of yourself. So stay on top of your hygiene. I want to keep this part short because I really, again, I just feel like, these are things that are the basis of a human being, taking care of yourself. Also, I think as a feminine woman, having your own signature scent, and this is where it gets fun, is having your own signature scent is so appealing and it makes you feel really good about yourself. So this is where you can play into your personality and you can find different scents that match your personality. I want to make sure that we're understanding to remain original because no one is you and that is your superpower. So having and investing in your own personal scent is something that I think is very powerful, and it is an easy way to tap into your feminine energy. Now, the second tip that I have to talk to you guys today about, and this is when we really start getting into it, is confidence. Now, confidence is something that a lot of people struggle with. I think that feelings in general, they're very temporary. So we might wake up one day and we're feeling super happy, and then by the end of the day we're not, or whatever it might be. And the same thing goes for confidence. One day we might feel super great about ourselves and love ourselves looking in the mirror every 2 seconds, and then another time throughout the day we're literally looking at ourselves in the mirror and we're like, yeah, I'm not really liking how I look right here. So when it comes to confidence, it's important to embrace who you are already. Remember, you are already this girl, you're already that girl, you're already a feminine woman, but it's important to embrace who you are. And if you don't know who you are, then you need to start thinking about who you want to be, and not who your friends want you to be, not who your parents want you to be, who social media wants you to be, or even who your man wants you to be. It's literally who you want to be. So pinpointing certain things about yourself that you love or that really makes you this woman, this feminine woman, that girl, whoever it is that you're trying to be, whatever it is, really pinpoint that thing and love it. Embrace who you are. There's no one that is you. The reason why confidence is so important as a feminine woman is because there are going to be times where you are literally in rooms full of people who are, they might have more money than you, they might be more attractive than you, they might have a lot more to offer than you, or so they might think. But when you are a confident woman, things like that don't really bother you. You don't even really notice things like that because you understand what you bring to the plate, your value, and you know that no one can compare to you because you are your own self and you're your own entity and you're in your own lane. So keep that in mind when being a confident woman. It's more than just, you know, dressing the part or looking the part. It's about really being that part, playing into that part, because that's who you are at your core. And right now, if you are struggling with confidence, I want you guys to know that at some point, we have to kind of break the entire mentality of really basking in our negative emotions. What is it doing for you to sit there every single day and to be putting yourself down and to be picking yourself apart when you could be literally putting yourself in some more positive emotions and understanding that you are growing into the person that you are wanting to be? There's a journey that's happening here, and that maybe you're not where you exactly want to be as far as looks or personality or confidence, but you are well on your way to becoming that. That puts you more at a vantage point of where you want to be in your higher self than to where you were 10, 20, 100 steps back, basking in negative emotions. It's just not worth it, and it's a complete waste of time. Understand that the price has to go up at some point, and make that point today. Make that point when you're watching this video to really focus on having your price just shoot up. Also, a really great way of becoming more confident and to boosting your confidence is being around like-minded women, successful women, people who share the same values and morals as you, because this is really going to push you to become better. Do not stay in a situation, friendship, or environment that is literally making you feel bad about yourself. There's no point in doing that. Try your best to get out of that realm and into the realm of positivity and growth. The next tip I have for you guys is improving on any aggressive or offensive language or behavior. A lot of the times we deal with a lot of trauma, and this trauma can actually be the person we're showing up as instead of who we truly are at our core. A lot of the times when things happen to us, they create triggers, and automatically we are on the defense. We are showing up as someone who we are completely not, just to protect ourselves. And that is completely understandable. I know, I've been there, but as a feminine woman and as a person who wants to be that girl, to stand in her own truth and to really heal, it's important for you to take steps to do your own healing. The sucky part about this is that the people who inflict this pain onto us, it's not their responsibility to, you know, come in and clean up the mess that they've made. We have to clean up the mess that people have made onto us and how they've made us feel, but it's okay, and it's really important for us to step into that power and into that destiny and be the own boss of our own lives. When you understand that these behaviors aren't behaviors that are truly ourselves, they're just things that are showing up because of the situations that we've been through, that's really important. But another great thing to understand is that you have to be a little bit more willing to be self-reflective. You have to be aware, you have to be very self-aware, and you have to take into accountability to heal. So anywhere from reading some self-care books, some self-help books, some inspirational books, or maybe journaling. That is one of my biggest tips ever, is to have a journal. I literally have like 20 journals and they're all filled up to the brim, because when I am in those situations where I feel aggressive, or I feel like I've been offended, or I feel like attacked, it's okay for me to refrain from reacting and be on the defense and just go ahead and journal in my book about how I feel or reflect on the situation. So take into account these things because they're super helpful, and they also are going to boost your confidence and help you understand that you can walk away from a situation without having to literally overextend yourself and be a person that you're really not. Okay, this is all about getting to be closer and closer to your higher self, closer and closer to who you want to be, or closer and closer to who you already are, but you're just showing up as someone else. I've learned that being a feminine woman, you don't always have to be on the defense. That is not necessary at all. People will say things to try to get under your skin. People will say things that completely are not true. All you have to do is look at the situation differently. Say to yourself, this is not resonating with me, because if they're saying things that don't align with who you are and it's making you feel bad about yourself, that means those things are not true. Now, the third tip that I do have, if we're on 3, I don't know, I think we're on 4 actually, but it's gonna be body language and poise. This is really important because your body language actually says a lot about you. It tells you if you are more a feminine person or a masculine person, and a lot of the times, I mean, without even thinking, a lot of people are slouching. You know, you might have your legs kind of a little bit more spread open, or you're just, you know, just having a lot of masculine movements within your body. But it's really important to be a little bit more aware of how you are moving and making sure that you are moving with intent and moving with grace. So this also ties into your confidence, but making small changes like your posture and figuring out like the walk that you have, or just becoming a little bit more self-aware on the things that you are doing right now, how you're even interacting with other people. You know, are you leaning your arm on something to feel a little bit more comfortable? Are you closing yourself off? You know, being a feminine woman, you don't have to be closed off. You can literally be inviting and warm, and you don't have to close your arms. A lot of those things, like body languages like this, can actually kind of show that you are a little bit insecure, or you really have something to hide. You don't feel comfortable in your surroundings, and it's important to note that anywhere you go, when you're that girl, when you are confident in yourself, this room is yours. You're confident in the room that you're in any room that you walk in, and you don't feel small at all. Stand upright, head up straight, and walk with a purpose, walk with intent, walk like you literally are taking control of yourself. If you are already taking control of your hygiene, your self-care, you're not being aggressive, you're not having offensive behavior or language, if you're taking control of all of these things, your confidence, then take control of your walk. Walk like you know who you are, walk like you belong in the room that you're in, and it's a whole different ball game at that point. The next tip I have is being a bit mysterious and letting people figure you out. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I'm seeing that in this day and age, social media has become everyone's digital diary. And I mean, everyone is hopping on social media with their Twitter fingers, retweeting, posting, reposting, or whatever it might be. And a lot of these things that we're posting are helpful in some ways. They can be very relatable, but also they do a lot of damage to our self-image and to ourselves in general. So a lot of the times you'll see people posting subliminals or bashing people on the internet, and we all know that one person that we follow on Instagram or on Twitter, and we can expect them to post about how they've been betrayed, or post a meme, or post a subliminal about, you know, along the lines of someone doing them dirty, or a friendship or something like that. But the bottom line here that I want you guys to realize, we know when that specific person posts, we know what to expect from them. We already have this preconceived image in our heads of, okay, this person loves to talk about this on their social media. That's all they talk about all day long. I can expect them to post a subliminal any day of the week, any time of the day, because that's what they do. That's what they're known for doing. That's the problem. A lot of the times we're throwing jabs on social media and we don't take a step back to be a little bit mysterious. Also, a little bit more self-control is needed to definitely have in those situations where you're feeling like you just want to pour everything out on the table, like how you're feeling, you're just being super, what is the word? impulsive. You're being super impulsive. But when you're feminine, it's okay to just refrain from doing those kinds of things. It's not necessary. No one really needs to know what's going on in your life, who hurt you, or what situations that you're dealing with right now. The only disclaimer that I have to say is that if you are using your voice as a voice of reason or to bring light to a certain situation and you're doing it in an appropriate way, then by all means use your voice. Like, I'm totally here for that. But when we're getting on social media and we're being gossipy, or we are sending subliminals to a man who probably like literally does not even care, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's when it becomes a little bit of a insecurity kind of thing on social media. So refrain from that and be mysterious in your communication and in the way that you handle certain situations as well. Let people figure you out. I think people don't think of the term less is more enough, and it really is. The less that you show people, the less that you tell people, the more people want to know and the more people are interested in you. And if you like when people are intrigued by you and certain things like that, then less is definitely more. And the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is when you're becoming that girl, when you are mastering your femininity, when you are tapping into your feminine energy, it's so important to note that your emotional intelligence is key. This is something that I'm going to be completely honest and transparent about, that I think a lot of people struggle with, but emotional intelligence will definitely set you apart on so many different levels. I saw this on social media the other day, and it said that your emotional intelligence and intuition will offend everyone that can't run game on you. And this right here is key. This is law. This is something that all my it girls, all my intelligence, feminine girls should really have like written down somewhere in your journal, on your mirror, or something like that, because being emotionally intelligent is a key factor in you having self-control and knowing yourself and understanding your own emotions. Going back to our triggers and traumas, a lot of us have them, but it's the way that we deal with them and maneuver them in different situations that makes us emotionally mature and intelligent. And when you master your emotions and move a little bit more strategic and less, reactive, it earns you a lot of respect, and it also puts you at a point where you just feel so much more in control and so much more in power of yourself. Being a little bit more emotional intelligent comes with having a journal, writing your journal, doing the shadow work, doing your dream work, doing so many different things that are going to essentially help you dive deeper into any issues that you might have had, any past traumas that you might have had, and leave them in the past and move forward as the new person that you want to be, moving closer and closer to your higher self. Also, being intuitive is very important too. Going back to that quote that I just stated about you being emotionally intelligent and intuitive, and no one can run game on you when you have those two things down pat, is so important, because when you're intuitive, you know everybody's next step, you know the next move, you know what to expect of people. And if you can save yourself the drama of, a guy that you're with, or a friend situation, a family situation even, if you can save yourself and notice the patterns of someone who is a narcissist or someone who is just completely ridiculous, you will save yourself a lot of drama, trauma, and all the extra BS. That brings me to the end of this video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that I made a lot of sense for you guys, and you guys can have some takeaways from this video as well. If you guys like videos like this and you want to see another one, then let me know. I would be happy to deliver. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.